school finished, I went to my daycare, and I went to the corner of the room where my teacher had exiled me because I was the weird kid. And I made some friends in the back of the class, but then the other kids said, wait, they're just pretending to be friends with you to use you for your toys. So then I go home, and my mom notices something's up, and she says, you can tell me anything, what's wrong? And I tell her, and then she says, oh, that's just life, deal with it. And so I go to bed, and I wake up the next morning, I put on my clothes, my mom sees me, and she said, why are you wearing those clothes? You look stupid, and you better not fidget with your pencil, because if people see that, they're gonna think you're crazy. And even if they don't tell you, they're gonna think that in their head. And so I go to school, and one bad thing happens, and it's too much for me. And I go home, and I just cry, and I wish the day is over. But then, when I go to YouTube, I look up Placido Domingo singing Vesti la Juba, and all of a sudden, I feel okay again. Music has gotten me through the worst moments in my life, but it's done more than that. When I first joined choir, I thought, hey, it's gonna be fun to sing. And it was. Every time I got on stage, I liked performing, I liked making all of these cool sounds with my friends. But beneath all of that, there was this feeling that I didn't really understand what it was for the longest time, but I knew it was powerful. Then last year, when I joined my Regents tenor bass choir, the first thing that Mr. Fee, our director, told us was that this choir is a brotherhood, and it only works if we trust each other. And the next 3 days, I was in this room with 100 guys who, most of whom I never knew or even spoke with. But we were so connected. We had our worst mistakes, and we made our best moments together. And in the moments before I got on stage, I knew that we were inseparable. And the next few moments would completely change everything I thought I knew. Because I grew up with so many bad experiences, I thought I was too different to be loved. I thought I would never find my place. And I looked everywhere for meaning. But when I stepped on stage, I walked there with my brothers. We all took a collective deep breath of silence. And that's when I realized I had found my place. When the song started, we gave everything into the music. Our pain, our agonies, to our joys, everything that made us alive, everything that made us human. And we didn't hold back a single drop because we knew that we could never truly mess up because we were with our brothers. Music didn't just save me, it gave me life. And I want to pay that forward because I know that I'm not the only one who feels like this. I'm not the only one who feel like I committed a crime for being born. And I want to help others. And that's why I'd like to imagine that 10 years, 20 years from now, that I'll be in Germany singing opera. And I like to imagine that somewhere in the audience, there's little Gene who had a bad day at daycare. And I want to speak with him with my music. And I want to tell him that he's loved, that there's a place for him, and that the world is a much, much better place because you're here.